A very good morning, students. Our session of FIM, that is Financial Institutions and Market. Now, as far as our offline session was concerned, now in that particular session, only one point is remaining, that is about the instruments of monetary policy. So now it is my request to all of you that please refer that instrument, because it is really very easy point, and if you found any difficulty in that, then let me know, we'll discuss it later on. Now from today I'm going to start our unit number 4, that is institutional financing 1. Now as far as these chapter is concerned, now in this chapter we are going to learn the different financial institutions who provides the maximum fund to, or the maximum funds for the industrial growth. So now let's discuss the different financial institutions one by one. Now in this particular chapter we are going to study few main institutions like IFCI, that is stands for Industrial Finance Corporation of India. Then after we are going to study SIDBI. SIDBI stands for Small Industrial Development Bank of India. Then after IDBI. IDBI stands for Industrial Development Bank of India. Then after ICICI. ICICI, that stands for Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India. So now these four financial institutions is known as All Indian Development Institutions. So with the help of these institutions, the industrial growth of the economy is possible. Then after, specialized financial institutions are there. Now in these specialized financial institutions we are going to study Exim Bank. Exim Bank, that is for Import and Export Bank of India. Then after IDFC. IDFC stands for Infrastructure Development Finance Company Limited. And last one, that is TFCI. TFCI stands for Tourism Finance Corporation of India Limited. So now basically in this particular unit we are going to study the history, objectives, functions and their operations of each and every financial institutions. Now suppose if in your examination, if the question is going to ask like, please explain ICICI in detail. So now in this question you are going to give the answers, like you are going to explain history of ICICI, then after its objectives, then after its functions, and last one the operations of ICICI. So by these way you are going to have your examinations preparation, because unit number 4 and unit number 5, these both unit consist the different financial institutions in a proper manner. So now today we are going to have the explanation of our first All Indian Development Financial Institutions. Under that, the first institution is IFCI. Now IFCI, that is stands for Industrial Finance Corporation of India. So now in this particular institutions we are going to study the history of IFCI, then after objectives of it, functions of it and the operations of IFCI. So now let's discuss it one by one. Actually you have your books, so IFCI is on the page number 83. So now let's refer it. C.D. Deshmukh, that is the first Indian governor of RBI, worked out the scheme for providing long-term credit to industries and made a proposal for Industrial Finance Corporation. Now, the main purpose of the establishment of IFCI is for the industrial growth, and these industrial growth is possible with the help of providing long term credits to the different industries who are working in Indian economy. So with the help of IFCI, the growth of industrial sector is going to be high, and IFCI provides maximum investment fund, and that is in the form of credit, and again that is to the and that is for the longest period of time. So C.D. Deshmukh, who was the first governor of RBI, gave the proposal of establishment of IFCI. So we are supposed to remember the name of our first Indian governor, that is C.D. Deshmukh. RBI drafted the bill to the central government in January 1946. IFCI was established on July 1st, 1948. So, here you are going to remember the date or the year in which IFCI was established. And IFCI was established under the Act of IFCI Act. Yes, these financial institutions has its own act. Generally, જેટલી પણ નવી નવી ફિનાન્શિયલ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશન્સ એસ્ટાબ્લિશ્ડ થાય છે, સો દે આર ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ ઇન્ટ્રોડ્યુસ્ડ ટુ આર ઇકોનોમી. એટલે જ્યારે ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ એ લોકોનું ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન થાય છે, તો પ્રીવિયસમાં જ્યારે કોઈ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશન્સનું બેઝ આપણી પાસે નથી હોતું, એટ ધેટ ટાઈમ જે ફિનાન્શિયલ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશન્સ છે એ પોતાના જ રૂલ્સ અને રેગ્યુલેશન્સને અડોપ્ટ કરે છે. એટલે એ કયા એક્ટને ફોલો કરશે? તો આ બધી જે સેપરેટ ફિનાન્શિયલ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યુશન્સ છે એ પોતાના જ એક્ટને ફોલો કરશે, પોતાના જ રૂલ્સ અને રેગ્યુલેશન્સને ફોલો કરે છે. એટલે IFCIના જે પણ રૂલ્સ છે, જે પણ રેગ્યુલેશન્સ છે, જે પણ એના ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સ છે, ફંક્શન્સ છે, દેટ ઓલ ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સ ફંક્શન્સ આર ધેર ઇન IFCI એક્ટ. એટલે અત્યારે પ્રેઝન્ટમાં પણ ઇફ ઇન 2021 જો IFCIએ કોઈ પણ ડિસિઝન લેવાનું હશે, તો ડિરેક્ટલી દે આર ગોઈંગ ટુ રિફર ધેર એક્ટ, અને એ એક્ટના બેઝિસ ઉપર દે આર ટેકિંગ ધ વેરિયસ ડિસિઝન્સ. Then after, the provisions of act changed from time to time. Yes, as per the requirement of the situation, as per the requirement of economy, there are major changes in the provision. So it is not the rigid act that once it was established, then after a number of years you are going to follow the same act. But yes, the change is allowed. But if the change is reasonable, then and then the provision is going to change. Otherwise, they are going to adopt their established provisions. Then after, there are 3 amendments there in IFCI Act. The first one, that is increase in the resources. Now the main purpose of IFCI, that is to give a hook in the increase in the resources. If the basic resources are available with the proper quantity, then definitely the growth of economy is possible with the help of growth of the industry. Then after second one, that is expanding the scope of operations. Yes, IFCI is not limited to a certain industry, but here IFCI covers the major industries, and with the help of their coverage, they are going to raise or they are going to increase their market share, and with the help of the expansions of their services, they are able to perform in a proper manner. Then after improvement in management. Yes, if the management is pronounced, if the management is proper, then but obvious they are going to achieve their goals and objectives in a proper manner. Then after the next point, that is to enable IFCI to access capital market and reduce its dependence on government guaranteed fund, as ordinance was circulated by government on 1st October 1992 to convert IFCI into a company. Now, first and foremostly, RBI provide maximum funds to IFCI, that is for the establishment. But slowly and gradually, the IFCI wants to convert themselves into company, and they do not want to now have the access of the funds of RBI. So they are going to approach the capital market for their equity IFCI was restructured as a company under the Companies Act 1956 to respond to the changing needs of the financial system in 1993. So now IFCI is converted into a company, and for this it is compulsory for IFCI to follow the rules and regulations of Companies Act. Now IFCI is the first developed financial institutions, that is to offer its shares to the public. So now they are going to conduct the IPO, and on the basis of that IPO, now IFCI is available to the general investors. The service is totally chargeable, so whatever activity they are doing, so it is totally based upon a certain fees, means IFCI charge fees for that activity. Then after promoter in the capital market, yes, IFCI promotes the capital market, or the instruments of the capital market indirectly promotes the IFCI for their capital expansions. Then after, let's see the objectives of IFCI. Actually the paragraph is there, I am just going to read it. The principal objectives of IFCI is to make medium and long-term financial resources available to industrial concern in India. So, the main purpose of IFCI, that is to provide long-term credit and long-term credit and medium-term credits to the industrial concern. This is done more in the circumstances where raising money from capital market is impracticable, or where normal banking accommodation is inappropriate or unavailable. Normally when industries are not able to raise their capital from the capital market, and if the industries are not able to approach bank for the loan purpose, at that time IFCI give the maximum helps to these kinds of industries for their economic development. So now let's discuss the objectives of IFCI. The first one, that is to supply medium and long term finance to specific types of industries. Here again a medium and long term finance is provided to the industry, and here the specific industry is written, but generally specific types of industry means the industries who are engaged in manufacturing work, the industries who are engaged in the engineering work, they gets the finance from IFCI easily. Then after the second one, that is to play the role of financial partner in industrial growth. So IFCI gives the ownership capital to the organization in a proper manner. Then after, to take steps as are considered required to provide strong base for deepening the process of industrialization in the country. So IFCI provide the maximum funds or the huge funds for the development of the industrial purpose. So ultimately they are going to provide the maximum funds to the industrial growth and development purpose. Then after, the third point is about the functions or the activity of IFCI. The functions of IFCI is divided into two major parts. The first one, that is financial functions, and second one, that is promotional functions. Now first and foremostly, let us discuss the financial functions. The financial functions, under that the first one, that is project finance. Now here IFCI provide direct finance when the industry want to introduce the new project in the market. So IFCI provide the loan, that is in the local currency, to the industry. Then after, IFCI provides loans in foreign currency if you are engaged in import export business. Then after, they are going to act as an underwriters, as we already know that what is underwriting. So they also act as an underwriters when the issue of shares and debentures are there. Then after, direct subscription to shares and debentures. So when the shares and debentures of the companies are available in capital market, so now IFCI directly subscribes to the company's shares and debentures and gets its maximum benefit. Then after, guarantee for deferred payments and loans. Now here the IFCI plays the role of guarantee when the credit payments are there. Then after, the second financial function is financial services. Yes, IFCI provides fund-based services and fee-based services. In fund-based services, they provide equipment finance, equipment credit, equipment leasing, equipment procurement, then after installment credit, suppliers credit, buyers credit, finance to leasing and hire purchase concern, and short-term loans. So this is totally fund-based services in which IFCI provides maximum funds to the industry. And second one, that is fee-based services. When the guarantee is going to be taken by the IFCI, at that time they are charging fees from the industries. So that services is known as fee-based services. Then after third financial function is corporate advisory services. Now here in this particular services, but obvious, the IFCI is going to analyze the whole market in a proper manner. That is, they are going to analyze the money market and the capital market. And on the basis of this money and capital market, they are going to give a proper professional advice to the corporates, that how they are going to raise their finance, how they are going to utilize their finance, at what period of time they are going to start their project, how they are going to raise the finance for their infrastructure, for their reconstructions, and again how they are going to get their banking facilities with the investment purpose. So these advice is common to each and every industries who are affiliated with IFCI. Now apart from it, IFCI also provides some customized services. Means the customized services is totally limited to the particular area of the corporates. When the business restructuring is there, when the investment appraisal is there, and when the company select the options of disinvestment, at that time the customized services is given by IFCI. Then after the fourth financial function is corporate advisory services to foreign investors. Yes, when the foreign investors are totally unknown to the Indian market, at that time IFCI also provides the basic services, basic advice to the foreign investors. They gave the advice that how they are going to raise their business, how they are going to establish their business, in which market they are going to enter, what resources are easily available to them, which information. So the information regarding the tax slabs, then after the tariff or the legal advice is given by the IFCI to the foreign investors who are totally unknown to the Indian market. Then after promotional functions. Now here IFCI is going to promote the different industries with these functions, and these functions are developing industries, export infrastructure. So they gives a proper promote, or they are going to give a proper advice to these kinds of industries. Then after removing the original imbalance and developing backward regions. Then after developing cooperatives in sugar and textile sector. So here the industry is totally selected and they are going to focus on the development of the particular industry itself. Then after promotion of technical consultancy. Yes, here IFCI is going to promote the consultancy for the technical advice. Then after support for management development. Then after support for the development of biotechnology. That is really very burning issue nowadays. Then after support for development of labors and support to agencies which are enables in developing capital market. Means the in agencies who are not going to approach the capital market in a proper manner. So IFCI provides maximum supports to these kinds of industries. Now let's discuss the modus operandi, that is the operations of IFCI. The first one, that is expected contributions of the project in the development of the economy as a whole. Then after employment oriented nature of the project, export potential of the project, contribution of the project in reducing imbalance in the regional development. So these are the main functions, these are the main operations which IFCI took for their development purpose. Now here we are going to discuss the few industries which are eligible for or they are eligible for the financial assistance under IFCI Acts. So these are the limited companies, then after cooperatives, organization, then after manufacturing, preservations or processing of goods, then after shipping industries, hotel industries, mining industries, transport industries, then after generation of distributions of electricity or power, maintenance and repairs of machines, assembling, repairing or packaging of articles. So these are the list in which IFCI gives the finance assistance to the corporations. So I think that is clear to everyone. Now you all have your books, so just refer the books and get the maximum idea from it. So now that's all for today. Tomorrow we are going to have the explanation of our another financial institutions, that is SIDBI. Thank you students. Thank you so much.